Hello and welcome back to another episode of Mystery Red Reads. I am your host, Mystery Red, and this is my disclaimer. This beta read in Conquerate is at the author's request. This video is for learning purposes. Today we're looking at a piece of original fiction. Today we are looking at Chapter 16, Part B of Infinite Shades for Crystal Committee, and we are going to dive right in. Sam leans back on the bench, the cool air carrying a briny tang from the nearby shore. Briny. Oh my goodness. So as I was reading that little descriptor right there, I was like, that's odd. Briny tang. What's that? Well, I read it wrong. So there you go. Briny tang from the nearby shore. Waves lap against the rocky beach. Oh my goodness. You know what? I'm starting over and I'm getting angry. Why am I reading the words wrong? I might be going blind. I'm going to lean forward here. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's try this again. Sam leans back on the bench, the cool air carrying a briny tang from the nearby shore. Waves lap against the rocky beach, blending with the rustle of evergreens. Children's laughter drifts across the playground, softening her thoughts. She senses Riley hesitating behind her. Tone down on the worry, would you? Would if I knew how. He steps around a puddle and holds out her phone. Mind if I join you? One rule. Her attention shifts to a child wobbling on the monkey bars. Which is, Sam replaces the spare in her holster. We never speak of this. Grinning, he takes the spot beside her. Speak of what? Garrett thought you were off the line. You knew I wasn't. He glances at her. Why not say something? Her eyes follow a girl scooping sand into a crooked tower. Wouldn't have made a difference other than to send him down the freak-out path again. He's kind of scary. Yeah, I know, she exhales. But this one's on me. Riley leans back. Your choice was deliberate. The 87%, that I'd remember how it all happened against the odds. Maybe. When I was bombing, comparing the calls helped. Listening to the silences, catching the background noise. You were using me, drawing on what others feel for a different perspective. Possibly. Single word answers? Avoidance tactic? Kinda. What do you think? New to all this, but I'd say you're keeping me off balance. He observes the children. Thought you were just bad with breadcrumbs, but you dropped them on purpose. This is relaxing. Simple, she corrects. Been a long day. Needed to chill. Kinda gathered, Riley pauses. Chavez, what happened? Okay, I'm gonna pause. I love this scene. I love this setup to this scene. I like the setting. I like how Sam is kind of like, yeah, I've done some shit, and she's kind of quiet. It's unusual for her, but it shows introspection. She's sitting there and she's kind of thinking about the situation. It's a lot. And I'm loving it. And I'm liking this interaction between her and Riley, too, where he's actually being very perceptive. And I'm also kind of got to say, on a side note, I'm wanting some Sam and Amanda action here, okay? I not right here in this scene. It doesn't fit, obviously, but I'm kind of needing that. So I hope that's coming soon. But, okay, that's it. You've got a slow burn going on there that is just going to tear me up. So sometimes I need that, you cast a line and you reel them in a little bit. I'm kind of need to be reeled in just a little bit to, teased a little bit with a little scene between the two of them. I hope that's coming soon. But those are all my internal thoughts up to this moment. But I'm really enjoying this scene. Okay, let's get back into it. Sam cringes. What needed to? She gestures toward a girl with a dirt-covered hand heading for her mouth. Yum. Sand is tasty, but gritty. They don't worry about politics or who's trying to kill them. It's all beyond their perception. She forces a smile. That's why I come here, to remind myself and let go. Okay, now I'm assuming she's talking about the kids that are playing. So I kind of almost want her to be specific for your reader's sake, even though you do require an intelligent reader. But I kind of just suggest saying the kids right there. Just go ahead and be super specific. Hang on, I need to see if my bunny is... Hey, don't you eat that. Hang on a second. Huh. Okay, she was close to my heater, and I didn't want her to nibble on the wire. Okay, let's see. You're Calgon. Sam senses he understands more than he can verbalize. White wine, candles, chocolate-covered strawberries, and a rose plant. Sure, my kind of Calgon. That could be taken a certain way. Don't even, she smirks. And now you're considering the implications. Yeah. White wine, though. Curious. Riley looks out onto the playground. No bottles here. Closest bar's, what, 4 blocks back? Drinking in public isn't your thing. Candles? Not practical outdoors. Chocolate-covered strawberries? Filing that under apology gift. And roses? The gardens are right over there. I can smell them. You needed the combination, and since it wasn't available, you went with the next best thing. Watching the kids. See what you did there? What? She chuckles. You profiled me off a throwaway statement. Riley slumps. Sorry. Don't be. How'd the call go? I'm with Sam. I really like what Riley did just there. He's kind of like on her wavelength, and I like that. Didn't make it. When you said I could single-handedly destroy her life, that stuck with me. Pruden's error revealed the fragility of this whole operation, just like you've shown how teamwork strengthens ours. When the Tweedles explained why the courts reject your memory, it all clicked. Being alone sucks. Any fool can know the point is to understand. The committee quotes Einstein. You're making my point. Crystal carriers die young because they end up as leaders. I'm trying to break that cycle, to build something tangible. I've selected those with the right skills for this team, or if they picked me, not chosen, they find us. Fair, Sam exhales. But what if I didn't find you? What if it's the reverse? I'll concede that leaders emerge, perhaps not by choice. In my defense, this world doesn't know about the onyx, the emerald, the crystal, or the war they fight in the shadows. But we see their effect. Riley stutters. What you're suggesting goes against everything we know and believe, the committee counters. Sam places her elbows to her knees, resting her chin in her hands. Take your time. Posing the question to both Riley and the committee. Looking back, does it change your perspective? We understand your avoidance of your superior's requests. It was likely manipulated by Garrett, otherwise why would he ask? I needed validation, which is why it was Riley on this one. His ability to see conspiracy, blackmail, and extortion stems from coding it into his models subconsciously. Facts that mean nothing alone, but together can paint an innocent person into a corner. Access plus knowledge doesn't always equal guilt. You're referencing our beliefs about Amanda. Yeah, but I'm not that narrowly focused, Sam admits. We can assess intent where Riley and others can't. They need tangible facts for court. Can I help find those? Yes, but I have chose him as a check against the abuse of that power. Abuse? We disagree. Riley looks to Sam. You kind of checked out there. Everything okay? Yeah. Ever had one of those philosophical debates with me, myself, and I, and there's no real winner? I can't say I have, but I'd probably go to Andrews. I know you have the head shrinker degree and all. No offense. Sam shifts her posture. None taken. But to answer your question, I'm going to say it was me. Why? When I'm trying to explain how our memory works, I usually find my own answers. But it's nice to shorthand it with someone who knows what it's like. Then you named your roomie as a fellow teammate. Is she as hot as I think she is? Sam warns under her breath, shaking her head. Riley. That's crossing a line. Sorry. It's okay, but you made an assumption. Amanda Severin. What if that were an alias, and I let the name combination drop to elicit something? Oh, did not think about that. He pauses. And I didn't put it together until Pharmacy Bob dropped it. Looking back, you always did that winky thing when I was trying to deconstruct her stuff. Like you knew I wasn't going to succeed, but supported me anyway. You were testing that lie of omission, weren't you? She snickers. A little bit. Now that you know, how'd I do? Had me fooled, which isn't saying much. I miss the emotional cue. I'm bad at people in the moment. Yeah, but you did qualify it. That's just my observation. How many times did I do the winky thing when you were working on Iris? He takes a few moments, then grins. More than on your roomie stuff, and tons when it went bonkers. Do you see the future or something? Sam chuckles. No, but some people think I do, and would like to take advantage of it. Is the SAC one of those? She tilts her head to the side, or side to side. There's some conjecture there. She raises a finger. When he was CIA, he was around my parents a lot. I was just doing my doodles, but I overheard things, and the news was on at my house almost 24/7. You ever heard of linchpin theory? I think so. It's not a fly farts in India and causes a tsunami, but a person does something and the dominoes fall. He turns to her. Oh my God. Is that what you did for him? The super classified stuff? Not for him. He didn't ask. I was just drawing on the wall when I was 5-ish with whatever I could get my hands on. A coping mechanism I didn't know was in development. Riley nods. You create art. Don't argue. I've seen some of what you call doodles, so you could bundle it all up in one and put it in place. A single reference over thousands. Sam drags her hands down her face with a tired groan. Yeah, it works most of the time. The classified stuff. He looks at her. You can't express it because it is. That's dudes with guns at your door followed by black sites. So you're here watching the kids. I'm guessing revisiting some triggers of those compartmentalized things and attaching them as amendments to stuff already filed. How did you get to that conclusion? He smiles. That's how I do it. Then there was the aging like a turtle thing you mentioned. You can't give me an answer because either you don't know or because you can't see that linchpin of a butterfly type effect. Intuitive. That was a one-word answer, and I'm guessing your next thing is to tell me not to read too much into it. But you know I can't. That's why you dragged me to the pharmacy over the others. I'd absorb it. I'm not barred by classification. I can testify, and I don't need to rely on paper to recall details. Maybe. You called the ASAC, the Tweedles. Sam's hands fall to her knees. Didn't call Steffler or Quinn, just knew they were around and watched the traffic. I'm adding to the overload, aren't I? A bit, but it's okay. You can't tell me everything. Your comment to the SAC, got a few days? He knows what it is. Wait, bad question. Focus it to a single task. Riley exhales. Let's just assume that Garrett knows what I do. Okay, so ASAC Steiner, your bad history that relates? Uh-huh. How far back, if you can tell me? For me, when I was in the hospital with Amanda, for my family, back into the 1970s. And it's because of his comment, like a daughter. It was believed at some point you were the SAC's actual progeny. She chuckles. Well, that's an assumption, one many believed, disproven a lot even by Steiner. This is accessible if you look for it. You have the credentials now. He was chasing my parents as spies. Were they? For the United States, she shrugs. Some of the best. I can't give you details. Riley leans forward, hands clasped. Classified enough that if I try to dig beyond you, it's bad. You don't trust ASC Steiner because of his hunt for your parents, yet you call him. That suggests there's more to it, but you don't blame him for their deaths. Sam chuckles. No, I'd love to give you the details, but what can I say? Okay, I think we've got our eye and our can. Yeah, there we go. If Steiner ever gets the truth of what happened, he'll be carrying a lot of guilt. You carry that in his place, don't you? Sorta. She leans on her hands again. Leaving that alone for now. But outside of this, you're giving me that non-classified version. Me asking for the warrants, getting the data, the Tweedles as backup, the whitewash story of you being blackballed. That part is true. Okay, but the pharmacy? Happenstance. I'm going to stop for a second, because as I'm reading this, Sam has a very distinct tone in this chapter that I've not really gotten out of her previously. She just seems really tired. I feel like she's in a different space than what she's been in so far. It's not a bad thing. I'm actually really caught off guard by it, and I kind of am intrigued by it at the same time, so it's really working well. But I'm just kind of getting this, even in the way that I'm reading it, I feel like there's this undertone of just a little bit of sadness, kind of she feels tired to me in this. And it's not a bad thing. I'm feeling, if that's what she is feeling, I'm feeling it. So that's more for my writer's benefit, my author's benefit than anything, that observation. So we're going to keep going. For the prescription, sure, but not for you taking me there, in the protected zone. When you fueled the tablet with your phone, I wasn't driving anymore. I was Sandra Bullock on that runaway bus. Best guess? There's a system close by that knew the route and dodged the potholes, getting me where I needed to go. Is that what you're seeing? Yeah, accurate. Spot on. Your phone, it's modified beyond Bureau standards, isn't it? Isn't it yours? Yes, but he grins. Gotcha. It's no different. I didn't poke around. Why? Because you're like me. It'd be rife with booby traps, and with your roomie involved, it'd be like pushing the button that says, I want to die now. Digitally, yes. Not discounting how that could ruin a life, but were you implying more? Don't ruin my image. I know you saw it. It double swords on the back, the thief that gets close and stabs you with precision, where by the time you get help, you're toast, the seductress that drops poison in your drink. Sam laughs. Too many video games much? That's just the way I see her, okay? A man's pinup girl is sacred. Okay, so a couple of things right here. I think this is this, and I feel like it is games, so I'm wondering if it's supposed to be a comma there. Okay, I would never, but the stealthy assassin type, sure, I'll let you have that. So compartmentalize this. She waits until she senses he's doing it. The hospital where I met her, there are facts you can look up. Her left eye, missing, big old scar. She's on crutches and a chronic pain patient. Thus, the meds and us looking into it. Totally missed that. Sorry. Only apologize when you're certain you're wrong. Are you saying I'm not? No. That classified stuff, I'm in the middle of it now. Gee, thanks. Not an assumption, facts put together. There you go, Sam smiles. Thanks for taking that tangent from me and running with it. Why not forward your number? One wrong word in court, and that molehill becomes a mountain. Millions spent, innocent lives hurt, and the actual perps get away, Riley finishes. Damn, I want to. I can compartmentalize all that. These are sealed. He puts his finger to his lips, turns it, and tosses it away. We both agree. I'm not good in the moment, and the more I try to prepare, the suckier it gets. I wouldn't be telling you this if I didn't trust you. Trust? Riley hesitates. I don't know how to do that outside of Sam rolls her eyes, and they call me the people whisperer. Because you are. That's how you see me. Our experiences the last few hours, you can do most of it on your own. It's just statistical analysis. Gilbert, I picked up on your discomfort talking to strangers. From him, worry that he'd done something wrong because you're FBI. So I went to the safe zone, mentioned Iris. Why? Recall that lecturer who said we go into fields we're afraid of? He was off his rocker, but wow, did you take him after with the questions? He pauses. Why did you do that? His premise wasn't wrong. I found it incomplete, she shrugs. Like you. You say you're not good at people because you put them in a category you're afraid of. Yeah, I'd rather stick with words, numbers, and things. Let the others handle the arresting part. Yet you wanted the collar on Pruden. Riley sighs. You made a great argument. I was the last straw. They did all the work and finished it. I'm not good at the physical stuff. But the physical stuff isn't the only part of the report card. Can I ask you something? It's not like I have anything to hide. Sure. I gotta pause. The bunny is into something. Okay. Let's see. Where was I? You met us all on the physical course, but the instructors were always surprised by it, like you cheated somehow, Riley says. Maybe I did cheat, according to their perceptions. That's not helping, Sam sighs. Let me frame this. Can you hear my heartbeat right now? Any of those kids out there? No. Can you? She lowers her head. In a manner of speaking, it's something I can't turn off. How many times did I tell you I didn't want to be your captain and shifted it off to one of you? Riley pauses. You stopped asking and just did it, and we looked awesome. He glances at her. Aw, man, you don't want to be a leader, but you're a damn good one. That whole what you're afraid of is what you're good at thing? Yeah. Okay, he rubbed his hands. Rubs? I don't know if you wanted rubs or rubbed. I think it's rubs because you're writing in present tense. Rubs. Rubs? Okay. He rubs his hands together. Let me take a run at this. Here, because kids aren't going to draw a gun on you or build a bomb with a timer. Sam leans back on the bench, exhaling. Right, I should be able to let my guard down. Across the playground, a young boy tosses a ball toward a goal. His throw is wide, missing a group of parents chattering nearby. Sam's face tightens. You can't fully. Riley scans the area. The adults, you're threat assessing them. Who they're talking to, touching, and such. Yeah, suspecting everyone means no one is innocent. That's sucky, especially when you can't turn it off. It's why you're here and why you wouldn't tell the SAC where you were. Why you ditched your phone and took the one the waitress provided. You saw that? Didn't think anything of it at the time, but yeah. Then the SAC and you're like a master pickpocket. Don't try to lie to me. No disagreement there, she smiles. I was the emergency contact if something went wrong. Your phone going off in front of the Tweedles, they knew it was the SAC before I did. Which you would have known because we were in your zone. If you hadn't left it with me, none of this would have happened. Keep going. Riley bends and frees a leaf from his shoe. I'm not on the right path. He's doubting himself, retreating. I made my choices, you made yours. He turns his attention to the park, the 10 and under crowd with the occasional parent, but mostly babysitters and nannies. Whatever happened with Chavez, you needed to settle your mind, and this is where you came. Just 10, Sam arches a brow. Arbitrary. She peers at him. Really? You know what I was working on, digging into all those juvie records? Let's say I didn't. Oh, you have tells too, Riley pauses. We can talk about that later. You're way more than I am, but yeah, that's where I was going. Sam pinches the bridge of her nose as the cacophony in her mind starts up again. I'm begging you nicely to step out of this one. We've been in it. You have things you need to protect, and I do as well. My brain's going to burn fuel faster than anything. My constitution might be more than average, but if I stroke out, that's endgame. You nudged me into mentoring Riley. You're going to have to take a leap of faith because I can't maintain you alone. Are you suggesting we are too much for you? History doesn't speak so well to the methods. Simply put, Riley can step into our justice system. Now drop it. We find fault. Absolute power? I won't give it to you through me. I'm in hyper-processing mode. Not a threat, but if I shut down, you have nowhere to go other than maybe Amanda and Garrett. Do you understand my conflict now? You just do everything better than us. You should be teaching the classes, not taking them. Sam cringes. I think you said it best. Doesn't work when I talk about myself. Sorry. She smiles. Don't be. Some things only individuals can solve for themselves. The forest and all its intricate details. We relate. I could tell you everything there is to know about it, but... Okay, I'm going to pause there because my timer did go off and I kept reading because it is reading really well. It's going really smoothly and I am enjoying this scene a lot. I'm going to highlight my spot in pink and we will be back soon, hopefully, to read part, this will be, let's see, chapter 16B, part B will be my next. So this is part A of this chapter, right, I think. I'm going to check my title, yes, because I just finished a video and I started one. All right, I'm going to check it and I'll label it appropriately and I'll see you guys next time on Mystery Red Reads.